So, why did you choose the comic books and all that?
Why did I get into this life, this crazy pop culture life?
Yeah.
So I started collecting when I was 6 years old. I was in first grade, and one of my fellow classmates gave me a copy of Avengers 214. And they probably have a copy here, which you got to see. On the cover is a picture of Iron Man, and he's being taken down by the Ghost Rider. And in the background, you see Captain America, and there's a character called Tigra in the background. They're like, oh my God, Iron Man's going down. When I was 6 years old in first grade, I saw that, and I was blown away. I'm like, what is this? I never really seen. I didn't know who the Avengers were. I'd barely seen a comic book before. And I'm like, what is this? So he was like, here, take it. It's yours. I want you to read this. So I read it cover to cover, every panel, every ad, every Hostess fruit pie ad, everything. I devoured it. And I fell in love with it. I think comic books inherently are back in the day they were kind of geared toward kids, but the stories I think you could read at any age. But for me as a 6-year-old, I had never seen. I didn't know what a superhero really was, and the Avengers was cool because there was a whole bunch of them coming together, fighting bad guys, and I just fell in love with that. So I think it's comic that just the world, all the stories, guys in costumes with superpowers. I think if you're a kid, you're automatically going to love that. And then later on, I started collecting toys. I started collecting GI Joes and Transformers, and all those things. And they came with accessories and weapons and vehicles, and I just fell in love with all of this. And I'd already been watching cartoons, and then some of the cartoons were tied in with the toys too. So you kind of had this whole crossover thing, like in the comic books, these whole shared universes. And I never left it. I to this day, many years later, as an old man, I still love this stuff. And now it was kind of back then. It was good, they put some money into it, but we didn't have the Marvel movies that you have now. There was no Infinity War. They tried to make a couple of movies back when I was a kid. They weren't good because they thought it was all for kids. They just wanted to sell toys, so they didn't give them the $100 million budgets. They didn't really take it seriously. They put bad actors into them. At one time, David Hasselhoff from Baywatch, he was Nick Fury. It wasn't Samuel L. Jackson. It was Knight Rider. The guy who played Knight Rider was Nick Fury. It was real weird. And Dolph Lundgren was the Punisher, a guy who could barely speak English. He was the Punisher. It was crazy. And I'm as a kid, I was if they just put a little more love and money into this, they'd have something. Because all the stories are already written. They have all the stories are great. And then all the panels, they already have all the action storyboarded out. I'm why can't they make a good movie? And it's because they refused to put money into it. But now they did, and look what happened. They're making a ton of money, and everybody loves it. I really love this stuff. I think you're lucky though, because you have all this great stuff. You don't have just one great Captain America movie. You have 3 of them to choose from. And then
6.
Yeah, and then you have 3 Iron Man movies and 3 Thor movies. And when I was a kid, I would read a Doctor Strange comic book, and he was such a weird character. I was nobody's gonna get this but me and my comic book friends. They'll never make a Doctor Strange movie, and then they did, and everybody loved it. And I was wow, they really, thank God. I thought Doctor Strange was such a weird, obscure character. They would never make a thing like that. Guardians of the Galaxy. Before that movie came out, no one but the most hardcore comic book collector knew where the Guardians of the Galaxy were. And even their first incarnation, there was no Peter Quill and all that. The only character that was in the first issue of Guardians of the Galaxy was Yondu. He was the only one. There was no Groot, in the Guardians. There was no Rocket Raccoon in the Guardians. So to see stuff like that is pretty awesome. And then you have all these, Netflix, Marvel TV shows, or all these cool CW shows. You have Arrow and Flash and Supergirl and Gotham and Legends of Tomorrow. You have almost every night of the week you can watch a superhero TV show, and it's pretty awesome. And we didn't have that. And I don't mean to sound like an old man. Back in my day we had to watch crap. But you have all this stuff, and it's really high quality, and you're able to enjoy it. So you're real lucky.
Hearing this makes me really think.
Yes.
Who is your favorite?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I mean, I think my favorite CW show is definitely The Flash. I think The Flash has done a great job, and not only that, but my boss Kevin Smith, he's directed 3 episodes, and he really knocked him out. Not kiss his butt or anything, but maybe I am. But he did a great job. I mean, the movies are tough. I really love the first Iron Man, and it's kind of the one that kicked off everything. And Robert Downey Jr. He is Tony Stark. There's no one else in the world that can play that character but him. But even in the suit, he's still Tony Stark, and that's tough. He's acting against a green screen, and and you can't even see his face, but you know it's him, and his mannerisms and his like arrogance and all that stuff. There's no other guy that can play Tony Stark. So I really love the first Iron Man. I love all the Avengers movies.
So you really can't choose.
I mean, one character. Oh man, I mean, it's tough. It really is tough. Like it depends on which genres. If it's like, all right, what's your favorite individual Marvel movie? Well, it's gotta be Iron Man. What's your favorite team up like movie? It's gotta be Infinity War. Then you have like guys like Deadpool. Yeah, it's tough, man. They're all so good.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, and this was a pretty awesome experience.
Yeah, man. I think it's cool they have a YouTube channel because again, back when I was a kid, if you wanted to have your own show, you had to get on TV somehow. You had to go to like broadcasting school, and then like some TV station would like, all right, we'll let you have a show. But now any kid or anybody can have their own show.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely going to subscribe and check out your channel and support you because I think it's pretty awesome. And I hope you get 1 million subscribers.
You too.
And, and I hope you keep doing this because it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to have your own channel. You can do whatever you want. So, yeah. But I'm honored to be on your YouTube channel for sure. Thanks, man.